Ever wondered what happens, guys, when we want to achieve a new goal? We get started right away, like if it's taking an exam or studying right away and making plans. And now we don't just want to walk towards our goal, we start running towards it. We want to run really fast and achieve it all. All that running makes us really tired and we start snoozing at our desks and even making paper planes to entertain and distract ourselves. If this is your certification exam story, I promise there's hope.
Hi guys, my name is Divya. I'm a doctor and I've held a management role with a healthcare company for a while. Today's video is definitely dedicated to the SHRM folks. There are 30 days left to get certified in this particular exam window, and I do hope that I can share a few tips with you guys to actually make it till the very end and achieve the certification that you've always wanted to do. So let's get started, guys. My tip number 1, reinvent yourself. What do I mean by that, guys? It's easy, right? It's really easy to say reinvent yourself. What the heck do people really mean? So guys, I just mentioned this, right? Every time we begin something new, we peak, we come down, we plateau, and then there's a slump. There's a low point, we're fatigued. It's like doing push-ups every day or working out every day. The first few days is good, we have energy, we have enthusiasm. The next few days, our muscles are fatigued. We're like, oh, do I really want to hit the gym? And then more and more, we feel like we want to rest our muscles. Rest is important, guys, but after the rest, you want to go back. And that's what we mean by reinventing yourselves. So once you peak, plateau, and slump, all you want to do is pick up the reins again. It's going to be slow and that's fine. If you need a day's break, that's fine. Take the break, but come right back. Take the day's break, come right back and start studying. Your brain is mostly muscle and fat for sure, but the muscle is important. It takes a lot of glucose, it takes a lot of energy, and studying definitely is hard work. So your mental muscles are tired, you've been exercising them a lot. Take your 24 hours off, at the most a day and a half, but not more than that, guys. Come right back, start studying because it's going to really help you. That's really the most important tip, the tip number 1 in terms of reinventing yourself, because that's what you want to do. It's really the good old trade of coming back as if it was your first day of working out this brain muscle, but you're going to come right back and start studying. Important thing to do, and it will help you get SHRM certified, I promise. My tip number 2, guys, this is the way that you're going to get the preferred exam date. So have you been looking at exam dates on the SHRM website and you're not getting your preferred date? So the closer it gets to the closure of the exam window, the dates become fewer and fewer, the slots available become fewer and fewer. So a lot of people book early on and sometimes they change and cancel, but then a lot of people who wait till the end don't get their preferred slots. I hope you're getting your preferred slot. If you're not, try and book the earliest day, which is practical. When I say practical, you should be done with the studying material or most of it. Again, nobody is able to do everything that they want to, but I think that they come quite close to the finish line, at least the targeted finish line in terms of studying. So plan for that. My other really important sub-tip with this particular tip is that if you're not getting your preferred slot, check often. So a lot of times people cancel their exams the last minute, and if that's happening, you will have an available slot that you could book. So check often, see if others are canceling and things are opening up, and if they are, then you will get to book the slot. The caveat with this particular thing is that you may not get your slot at all because you may have to go into the next window. So be careful with that because there are two sides to the same coin. I just wanted to put that out there. Also, in the past, sometimes SHRM has extended its exam window. So last year it was supposed to close on 15th of July. But it really closed on 31st of August. So do look into that, guys, if they're extending the exam window. This could be a COVID specific case, and I promise I have no inside information at all about the SHRM ongoings. I really don't work for SHRM, but I just wanted to share it with all of you that in the past exam windows have been extended. Keep an eye out for it, and you can also reach out to SHRM directly using Chat with Experts, which is available on their website, and it's mostly East Coast American hours that the chat experts are available. Make use of that. I hope that you get your exam slot, the preferred slot that you want in this particular window. My tip number 3, guys, practice exams are the way to go. You have 30 days left. Practice exams, initial assessments, post-test exams, everything is extremely important. Please ensure that you do them. Please ensure you take them in exam-like settings, because that is definitely the way to go. You have to be able to apply what you learn, and the material is somewhat different from the way the questions are asked, and what you need to get used to is the way the questions are asked, because that's the only way to answer them correctly. So guys, please do that. Please take your practice exams, and it would really help you out. My tip number 4 ties into the previous tip: review, review, review. Not just reviewing your notes, but reviewing your practice exams. Every time I took a practice exam, it took me about 2 days to review the answers, because there were so many questions on it. So earlier, the SHRM exams, CP and SCP, had 160 questions in a 4-hour time slot. Now they've reduced the questions to 134. Good news! Yay! So guys, go for it. Do those 134 questions in the 4-hour allotted time slot on your practice exam, and ensure that you review every single answer, the right answers and the wrong answers. In these mock exams, if you review every single answer, then you're confident of your right answers, and you only have a few where you're unsure of. Remember, those questions will always be there, but that's okay. Just move on from there. It's really going to be helpful if you reviewed your exams properly. My tip number 5, and a really important tip: don't overstudy. So guys, you're nervous at this point of time because you feel like there are 30 days left or a month left for the exam, but don't try to memorize things that are not to be memorized. So for example, in culture and diversity, a lot of people have asked me, there are so many examples, Divya, of what the Malaysians behave like, or what the Emiratis behave like, or what the people in the Middle East or Americans or people from the UK behave like. I don't think you have to memorize all that. I think the point is to understand that there are cultural differences when you're doing anything in management, and that there's diversity. And if something like that is asked on an SJE, a situational judgment question, how would you tackle it? So most of the times people will tell you, which is more of an open environment and which is a closed environment, and that is how the questions appear. So don't sit and memorize every single country's trait, because that is not the point of the exam. My tip number 6, guys, and another really important tip: don't fret over your practice exam scores. So I have a video where I've mentioned all my practice exam scores, and I'm going to leave it in the description box below. But guys, please don't fret over it. I mean, every time I receive these emails saying that I'm scoring an 80% on my quizzes, I'm scoring a 60% on my quizzes, I have 180 on my practice exam, am I ready, or should I postpone my exam? Guys, this is not the point of the practice exam. We all want to see a number, and I know we want to see a positive number, but believe me, regardless of whether you score a 200 or a less on the practice exam, there's no way to really know whether you're going to get certified by passing the actual exam. And there's a very simple reason for that. People who don't do well on the practice exam score lower than a 200, but then they really study, and then they do well. Folks who score a 200, some of them remain calm, head on their shoulders, that's great, but then some of them become overconfident, and then they don't do well on the actual exam and don't get certified. So don't be one of them, guys. It's okay to score lower on your practice exam as long as you're learning from your mistakes. Review the questions, review the answers, go back to where you think you went wrong, review those topics. Once you've learned, you're good to go and move forward. My tip number 7, guys, be wary of bad quality question banks. So towards the end, when you're studying, there will be a study group, people will share all sorts of things. There'll be bad quality question banks coming your way. People will say, oh, these are the actual questions from all SHRM exams. These are questions from XYZ exam. be wary of them, guys. Most of the times these are just falsely circulated for the fact that people want it circulated more and more or forwarded more and more. Really be careful. Stick to the study material you've chosen. If it is Mometrics, let it be Mometrics. If it is LMS, let it be LMS. If it's My Notes and Study Material, let it be My Notes and Study Material. And if you decided early on that you were going to do a combination, that's totally fine, but stick to your initial plan. This is the time to follow your vision through and you will be just fine. My tip number 8, guys, use the active recall method. So I've said it in my videos before that you're not supposed to be just reading through your notes. This is not a novel. You need to be able to read something and actively recollect, understand and reproduce what you're reading. So ensure that you're actually actively recalling things from your material. The reason I say that now in this 30 days of preparation is because this is the time your brain is fatigued. I started my video with that and here I've revisited it because it is important. When your brain is fatigued, you feel like you're going to flip through pages and read through things. It's not going to help you, guys. You want to be able to actively recall, close the page, close the book. Think of the formulas that you need to know. What is return on investment? What is current ratio? Do I know the formula? Do I understand it? Am I able to apply it to a question? What is reflected in a balance sheet? What is reflected in an income statement? These are things that you need to be able to answer. If you haven't been able to answer this in a couple of lines, you haven't understood the material, please revisit it. It would be important. My tip number 9, guys, the last week to 10 days, 7 to 10 days, usually 7 to 8 days, stop taking all the mock exams, stop taking the practice questions. You've done enough. You've probably done enough. This is the time to revisit all your notes. You can do all the competencies if you have the time, and if you don't, just visit some sections that you really know in your mind need to be revisited. That's really the only way to play this out. Either do everything if you have the time in 7 to 10 days, or selective studying now since you've really visited every single topic prior to this. My tip number 10, guys, the last day is not for studying. If your exam is on the 15th, the 14th is when you need to take a break. Do things you absolutely love doing. If you like painting, if you like baking, if you like playing squash, if you like to just go out and hang around, if you just want to watch a mindless movie, if you want to sit around the house, do nothing. Do any of those things or all of those things, but this is not the time for studying. It's not the time for questions, none of it. So just take a break and take your mind off things. My tip number 11, and something that you've probably heard a gazillion times, get a good night's sleep, guys. Nothing can replace a good night's sleep. So please do that and go with a fresh mind to the exam center, or if you're taking the exam from home, sit down with a fresh mind, start the exam and just finish. And please share the good news once you get certified. Leave us comments in the comment section below. I'm just going to be thrilled. Anytime anyone leaves me a comment, Divya, I got certified, it literally makes my day. I feel so happy, so thrilled on those days that I can't even explain. I have no words to say that. So all in all, I do hope my videos are helping you guys. If they are, please give this video a thumbs up. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.